Hello, Ivy here. This week's podcast is entitled Still Slow Dancing in a Burning Room, episode 134. Introduction. The title of this podcast is taken from a song written and performed by one of my favourite musicians and writers, and that is Slow Dancing in a Burning Room by John Mayer. I did a podcast in 2021 using the title of this track, and as I am revisiting the ongoing lack of foresight that exists in the UK figurehead family, it seemed appropriate to add the word still to the title of this episode. The overall theme of Slow Dancing in a Burning Room revolves around the complexities and struggles of a relationship that is on the brink of collapse. The burning room, a symbol of the relationship, communicates the chaos and destruction of their current state. The slow dancing, a symbol of both their complacency and their initial love, communicates their lack of success in finding a solution for their problems. Though their love is passionate, as evidenced by the tone of Mayer's doomed lover, it's riddled with practical problems that can only result in the collapse of their relationship. Thus, Mayer constructs the central image of one of his most emotional songs, detailing the inevitable breakdown of a relationship as something akin to a fatalistic dance. I've included a few lines from that particular song, and in the article all of the lyrics are shown. So here are 4 lines as a starting point. It is not a silly little moment. It's not the storm before the calm. This is the deep and dying breath of this love we've been working on. Another extract. We're going down, and you can see it too. We're going down, and you know that we are doomed. My dear, we are slow dancing in a burning room. Don't you think we ought to know by now? Don't you think we should have learned somehow? The background to this week's podcast. What does it mean to read the room? To read the room is a term used to describe the ability to perceive and understand the emotions, attitudes, and behaviours of people in a given social setting. It involves paying attention to non-verbal cues such as body language, tone of voice, and facial expressions, as well as the context and environment in which the audience's attention and interactions are taking place. Reading the room is an important communication skill. The ability to read the room is an important skill in various settings, including social gatherings, business meetings, and public speaking engagements, as it enables individuals to observe the mood, then adjust their behaviour and communication style accordingly to better connect and communicate with others. By using social awareness and reading the room, individuals can gain a better understanding of the mood and tone of the interaction skill, which can help them navigate social situations more effectively and build stronger relationships. Observing the room plus listening equals reading the room. As a leader, it is essential to have a thorough understanding of the people and environment in that room. Simply listening to one person is not enough to gain a complete picture of the situation. Instead, it is crucial to observe everyone in the room and consider their individual interactions with each other and their mood. Take note of who is sitting next to whom and observe their mood. Do they appear happy, angry, distracted, anxious, afraid, or uncomfortable? Observe how people are standing or sitting, as well as their facial expressions, including any subtle cues such as smirks or raised eyebrows. Be carefully observing each person in the room. You can gain insights into the social dynamic at play and make more informed decisions based on this understanding. Remember, reading the room is not just about hearing what people are saying, but also interpreting other cues and taking into account the broader context of the situation. My views on the UK royal family is that they were never taught or shown how to be mindful of the emotions of others. The monarchy assumes people will just obey them, regardless of whether or not they agree with whatever is being proposed. It does not give the impression that people are employed who have independent thought on anything, even if they are on paper skilled in such matters. Members of the royal family are told that staff are there for their benefit and to do whatever they want them to do. No one is going to tell them that something is a bad idea. Patently obvious by the high volume of sycophants employed in the firm. And no matter how bad a decision may turn out to be, no sanction will ever be taken, nor will anyone enter such details in any report. People born into that environment are generally an absolute pain to attend school or university or any royal life afterwards. No accurate assessment of their ability is ever recorded anywhere, and no data is ever produced about the skill set needed for a particular series of visits or duties to ensure that the projects all go as intended. The arrogance and lack of foresight on simple things, like the age range of the senior royals, and the tasks that on paper made it seem like all would be achieved. No concerns about 5 out of the 7 senior working royals were of pensionable age, and the 2 remaining senior royals possessed no skills whatsoever, had 0 experience other than being able to smile and wave, and in recent months been more than comfortable to use AI life forms on film in place of the original person. That is a direction that the UK royals are going in. 2 people who never delivered much activity that could be quantifiable in a 20-year period, and in recent months are barely visible, and the remaining 5 are barely standing. Not a construct that gives confidence moving forward. This is the backdrop to expecting miracles to emanate from 7 people who are fragile in more ways than one and challenged in many others. But officially, Harry and Meghan are the problem. You are all having a laugh and trying to rewrite history. It won't have the effect royalists are hoping for. In this technological age, nothing is erased from the internet, and no matter how many versions of this and that are claimed as original, historians will have access around the world to what was written and published and the number of amendments made for a variety of reasons with the passage of time. The royal family are used to being in control. The royal family are used to being told that they are loved and revered. The royal family believe that they are better than others and expect deference from those in their company purely because of their birth journey. Royalists, in terms of supporters, account for around 1/3 of the population, and in some cases nearer to 1/4 of the population, and they are above the age of 65. Royalists and the UK royal family learn to read the room. It won't take many elections where the public will be able to vote for whether or not they want to see an elected head of state or continue with the royal family. Things are destined to change. King Charles is exempt from more than 160 British laws. There are 2 reference sources listed below giving details of each of the 160 British laws that the monarch is exempt from, and there is another reference source document that gives more detail on a select few. Rather than read out all of those in the podcast, these 2 documents are worth saving and referring to in the future if the need arises. A summary of the main points. Since 1967, exemptions have been written into more than 160 British laws to grant sweeping immunity to the late Queen Elizabeth II in her capacity as monarch. Now these exemptions have been transferred to King Charles, whose coronation took place on May the 6th, 2023. Under the legal doctrine of sovereign immunity, Charles is exempt from criminal and civil proceedings as the head of state. But the king's immunity expands beyond his public duties to his conduct on privately owned assets, estates, and businesses. Currently, more than 30 different laws bar the police from entering private royal estates without the sovereign's permission to investigate suspected crimes. Charles is also exempt from punishment over wildlife offences, environmental pollution, and other green crimes. A kind of legal immunity given to no other private landowner in the UK. Britain's support for the monarchy is in long-term decline, suggesting King Charles faces challenges. King Charles's first year of his reign. The rhythm and rituals of the royal year have largely been kept in place. The rotation through big annual events and stately homes has stayed much the same. Monarchy is a long game, says historian Heather Jones. A monarch doesn't have a political cycle where they have to make an immediate impact. She believes King Charles has had a quietly successful first year, gaining public acceptance following his mother's long reign, managing the transition and avoiding any disasters. The checklist of achievements includes a first state visit to Germany, widely seen as a diplomatic success. Challenges ahead. In terms of family problems, the fireworks of Prince Harry's memoir, Spare, didn't really scorch the king. The book might have rattled the monarchy as an institution, but the king himself was portrayed as an essentially benign and sympathetic figure, if a sometimes puzzled and melancholy one. Prince Andrew has also mostly kept out of sight this year, despite repeated rumours of ambitions to return to public life. But there are still questions to be addressed. There are issues about the transparency of royal finances. When the public pay a lot of money into this institution, it's a weak point at the moment, says Professor Jones, Professor of Modern History. They also need to offer some kind of response to the questions that will keep coming up about the legacy of slavery, says Professor Jones, as well as politically significant in the UK, confronting the issue of slavery and the royal family's historical links to it will be particularly important for relations with some of the Commonwealth countries. How much did the British tabloids' brutal coverage of Harry and Meghan impact on their decision to step back? Harry and Meghan's individual bios have been removed from the royal family website, and a summary joint bio for the couple is in its place. The bios of Archie and Lilibet have been removed altogether. That speaks volumes on its own. I don't need to say any more about that. But equally, Harry and Meghan are not looking back at Skull Island and their activities on their website. This is meant to hurt Harry and Meghan, but it won't, because for 8 years the British royal family never once defended the couple about the media onslaught. Indeed, the media were operating on the orders of the British royal family anyway. Harry and Meghan have moved on, and there will be no looking back by Meghan. Harry is still working his way through a trauma bond with his toxic family. That is a decision he needs to make, but for certain, Meghan and children will not be making themselves available for continuous abuse on UK soil in order to make the abusers feel in control once again. They can go and kick rocks. Meghan and the children deserve better. Harry knows what the right decision will be. None of us need to say anything more. I just know that Meghan is much further down the road than Harry, and is protecting her peace and moving forward, as opposed to looking back and memorising the route back to toxicity. Signs of the firm failing continuously. This is a small extract from an interesting article summarising some of the main indications that an organisation, including small businesses, is failing. The article where this extract originates is listed in the reference sources. Constantly firefighting issues. When it feels like you're dealing with more problems than you can handle day to day, rather than working on growing the company, it's a strong sign that the business is failing. Maybe creditors are harassing you for payment, or key staff are leaving. Whatever the issues you're facing, it seems impossible to move forward. What can you do? Obtaining professional help can prevent the business from sliding into insolvency and provides valuable support for you. An accountant or licensed insolvency practitioner will be able to identify the areas to focus on. Some of this would not apply to the monarchy in its current state, but to speak with business professionals would provide and could provide valuable support. It may be that things have gone too far now, and the age profiles and availability of younger working royals is questionable, and the major issue would be those younger royals could well prove to be more skilled, or at least willing to learn new things, and in doing so would be in danger of outshining the two younger working royals with no skills or experience of anything, being outshone once again. The cycle would just repeat itself. Not a promising future ahead, in my personal opinion, unless smiling and waving for photo opportunities and the odd visit counting as engagements comes back into vogue again. That would require around 75% of the population believing that this approach can be brought back into popularity again. Remember, young people below the age of 25 count as a single-figure percentage who are even prepared to tolerate a monarchy, as they see no purpose for one anywhere, not just the UK. Why is the UK royal family falling in popularity? Britons are more likely to say their views of the monarchy have worsened than improved over the past decade, according to a CNN poll, suggesting that King Charles III is facing serious challenges on the eve of his coronation. When this particular article was written, when he will be officially crowned head of an institution that has endured years of internal upheaval. More than 1/3 of UK adults, 36%, say their opinion of the family has become more negative than it was 10 years ago. The survey by polling company Savanta found Queen Elizabeth's death brought to an end an era defined by the late monarch's steadfast dedication to duty amid rapidly changing times. Just 21% say their views on the royal family have gotten more positive over the past decade, with another 41% saying their overall opinion has stayed the same. And 3 in 10 say they have become less interested in news about the family over that time, while 22% say they have grown more interested. A little less than half say that their interest level hasn't changed. Harry and Meghan have not drowned in the sea of hate created by the royal family and British media. They are navigating the waves with skill, and there is always a global flotilla nearby, if ever needed. This has been documented in a number of podcasts by this channel and in published articles. There is no need to repeat it all again here. All that needs to be said is that a vocal minority of the population of the UK have been brainwashed, indoctrinated to hate someone they do not know, and most likely never will, based purely on what media organisations have bombarded the nation with a particular slant of argument. That drip, drip feeding of a particular stance of rhetoric led to substantial risk to the life of Meghan and Harry and their family, but particularly Meghan. The same type of brainwashing and indoctrination via drip, drip approach about another female in the royal family who persuaded a section of the population to believe that the individual was an angel walking the planet. Propaganda doing its job. All involved in that project, and you know who you are, need to be able to differentiate where lines and boundaries were crossed, because you will need to be very certain in the future. Something else that media and partners in crime need to keep in mind, that the UK is but a grain of sand on this planet, and the negativity and increased risk to life emanates mainly from the UK. Outside of the UK, the complete reverse is true of most people from other nations, despite what nonsense is printed in UK papers. At this stage in the circle of life, let the UK continue in its bubble and live in harmony with your closed doors policy, where the UK is not far off from declaring UDI, Unilateral Declaration of Independence, and the rest of us outside of that plantation are looking to progress in life and work in harmony with other people who do not think everyone else should bow down to them. Colonialism is not an aspiration to repeat outside of the UK. The UK can continue living in its bubble of delusion and see how far it gets you. Elsewhere, the global community is looking for ways to progress for the benefit of all. The few that are not interested in that may wish to join forces with the UK. Though I suspect Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland may not be that keen to join England in its leaky boat journey to utopia. The UK has made itself a laughingstock, and that is sad to see. No point in losing sleep over it now. The rest of us are doing our best to uplift communities where we can. Service is universal. Real service, not tokenism with a wave and a rictus grin. Arrogance and complacency are causing royal foundation pillars to crumble. The signs of the House of Cards crumbling have been there for 4 decades. Zero recognition over the last 20 years of the continuous red flags appearing at the foundation level. The holes the British royal family and media and establishment continued to dig for Harry and Meghan now have the names of those 3 groups mentioned. Harry and Meghan are nowhere near the site, but increasing numbers of those who earned income by spouting hate-filled rhetoric and incited hateful activity have been falling into suffering that they intended for the family who walked away from abuse. The British royal family and its media and the backing of the establishment for the last 14 years used the media to change the views of enough people in the UK to be against anyone from outside the UK, and likewise anyone who questioned the ability of the government of the day to look after UK's best interests. The UK, by a variety of mind control techniques, best known as brainwashing, developed a sea of hate and then introduced a hate-for-hire business model, which ensured that people earned income by using social media platforms and televised and printed media to incite hatred towards 2 people and their children over the last 8 years. To date, an 8-year campaign is deemed as successful. That the targets left the UK 4 years ago. Never a week goes by when the tabloids do not print an article that states that Harry and Meghan are not welcome in the UK. But if Harry apologises for some manufactured wrong somewhere, he may be accepted back in the fold to be the rubbing rag for the royal family once again. Always the same gossip writers who continually state that Meghan is not welcome back in the UK. And the gossip writers lower down the food chain see their colleagues receiving high sums of money by writing bilious articles about Harry and Meghan, and want to jump on that gravy train. The mistake that the royal family and its pals in the media made is that, unlike every other person who joins that family, particularly women, Meghan has always known her worth and was a millionaire several times over before even meeting Harry. Meghan never did and never will need anyone or anything from the British royal family, its media cronies, or the UK establishment. Unlike those who tried to escape and who have returned cap in hand, who are now pliable and ever so grateful to be a doormat, or anything else the monarch wants of them, because they know that they cannot survive outside of the plantation behind gilded gates. Anyone with a functioning brain, as opposed to inbuilt arrogance and audacity, to think that a title allows someone to control the movements of a person until the master no longer needs them, and then puts them out of sight and affords them a minimalist lifestyle, and wears clothes purchased from thrift stores, and walks about with holes in their shoes. Harry and Meghan are not anyone's slaves, and certainly not at the beck and call of UK monarchy, or its pals. UK media make it very clear in the days leading up to any event in the UK that Meghan is not welcome. First of all, UK media, you all need therapy. You tell someone every single day how much you dislike the person and that they are not welcome on UK soil. And then, when she does not visit, you whinge about it, like a 2-year-old having a tantrum that lasts days. Seek help. What you all want to do is abuse Meghan face to face and write articles for weeks about how you did it, and laugh all the way to your bank to see the extra pounds in your account. Every time you do that, and similar, it is documented and adds to evidence. Targeted activity of the types UK media clones are churning out and inciting members of the public to participate in will come back to haunt you all one day. It is illegal activity, and 80 years' worth of a wide variety of planned, coordinated hate activity is against various laws. Don't be fooled into thinking that because it takes place on UK soil most of the time, that you are protected. You are all way too naive to see what your actions can lead to, whether it be on UK soil or outside of the UK. In case you are still in doubt, I have stated it before that media folk are cannon fodder to the remaining groups I have mentioned earlier. So all the media, establishment and royal family. And I have said it many times over these last few years. Of those 3 groups, it will be media personnel who will be facing a judge one day. I hope you are cutting back on your spending for meals and school fees for your families, because some of you are going to need funds for explaining yourselves in the future, no matter how long it takes. You will always reap what you sow. And quite a few of media folk are already having their collars felt. Long may it continue. Karma is going to be a very close friend. That's it for this week. The lack of ability to read a room is going to come back and haunt quite a few groups in the future. And as stated earlier on, the holes they were digging for Harry and Meghan and their family. They're going to need a lot more holes, and none of them will contain Harry or Meghan or their family. There are already people teetering on the edge of quite a few of those holes. It will be entertaining to watch them fall in one by one. As per usual, I look forward to reading your comments Sunday night onwards. Speak with you all soon. It's bye from me. Bye from Ivy. Bye.
I know you don't mean to, but you're blocking my view. I know you got issues, but I got my shit too. I don't wanna be your therapy no more, no more. You don't wanna hear this, but it's you, it's not me. Ooh, gotta go and grab a spoon now. Ooh, make a life for myself. Ooh, I don't know what I'ma do now. Ooh, but I don't need your help. Get out of my way, my way. I'm moving on up. Don't make me stay, to stay. I'm done being stuck. Get out of my way, my way. I'm moving on up. The last thing I will ever do for you is wish you the best of luck. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Catch you on the flip side. Maybe we can be friends when you're not so fragile. When you know yourself well.